Welcome to my class. Today's class is under the following points: powers and functions of election, allotment of symbols, fixing dates and conducting elections, ensuring free and fair elections, appointment of polling officers. Now I am going to clarify. The lesson is election and election commission. The first point, powers and functions. The election commission has some powers and functions. The election commission enjoys some powers and functions. Now what are the powers and functions the election commission enjoys? The election commission has some powers and functions. Number one, allotment of symbols. Now what is allotment of symbols? The election commission has the election commission shoulders one of the most important responsibilities, that is allotment of symbols. Each political party has its own symbols, and the symbols are chosen by each and every political party, and these symbols are recognized by the election commission. That means the election commission is the only body that can acknowledge that a political party has fulfilled all the requirements to participate in the elections, and this system is known as election. This system is known as conducting elections, and in our country, each political party, there are some political parties, and some political parties are of different types, like regional political party, national political party. So it is another most important work of the election commission. Another important work of the election commission is to recognize whether the political party is a regional party or a national one. And allotment of symbols, another important function of the election commission. Each and every political party has its own symbol. The symbols are chosen by political parties, and then they submit it to the election commission, according to which commission recognizes that this is the symbol of that political party, this is the symbol of that very political party, like that. So this is allotment of symbols. And next one, fixing dates and conducting elections. The election commission fixes the dates of election. Suppose one general election is going to be held throughout the country. In that case, in consultation with other election commissioners, in consultation with the executives, the election commission decides a fixed date, and then it declares the fixed date, according to which election is conducted throughout the country. Now the process by which the election commission conducts election, ensuring free and fair elections. The election commission conducts free and fair election. How? By consulting the police departments, by consulting administrative departments, by consulting the government officials, and they take help from the police department in order to ensure free and fair election. Because conducting free and fair election is a challenge of the election commission. Since the election commission is the head of the entire procedure of conducting election, its first and foremost duty is to make sure free and fair election. Now, what is free and fair election? Free and fair election is the procedure of election where there will be no proxy votes, no false voters will be there. The voters, the list will be published by the commission, and as per the voter list, the commission would allow each and every voter to conduct free and fair election. If there is any confusion, any problem, the election commission looks into the matter, whether there is any kind of confusion, any kind of irregularity. The commission looks into the matter and decides what to do. But thing is that every year or before in conducting election, the voters list is thoroughly checked whether any false voter is there. Suppose many voters expire due to accident, due to normal death, but their names still there. Their names are still there in the voter list. In that case, the election commission has to look into the matter whether the voters are in existence, whether the voters' existence is there, whether the voters dies, whether the voter still alive, whether there is any irregularity. For that reason, after having checked the voters list, the election commission published fresh voter list, new voter list, where there is no false voter. So only the voter's name which will be included in the new list published by the commission, only they will be entitled to be voters and they will be allowed to cast their votes. And next point is that ensure appointment polling officers. Appointment of polling officers is another important work of the election commission. The election commission appoints a number of polling officers in order to ensure free and fair election, and this is done throughout the whole country. The head of the election commission, the chief election commissioner, appoints a number of election commissioners. Why? In order to be assisted by them, in order to be assisted by them, the chief election commissioner appoints, in order to reduce his working load, the chief election commissioner appoints a number of election commissioners. And regional election commissioners also are appointed in order to look after the electoral procedure of different states of India. By this way, the appointments are done, and the polling officers are appointed by the regional election commissioners. Each and every state has one regional election commissioner, according to which the polling officers are appointed by the regional election commissioner of their respective state. For that reason, it is said that the polling officers who are appointed by the regional election commissioner, they are appointed in order to conduct free and fair election in order to look into the matter whether there is any irregularity, whether there is any false voting, whether there is any attempt to win over the voters by offering money. If so, in that case, the election is declared to be cancelled and further election is held by the election commission. If any allegation brought against the name of any candidate or any polling booth centers, in that case the election of that particular polling booth is declared to be cancelled and further election is held in order to make sure that there was no irregularity in that particular polling center or polling booth. Only for that reason, my dear students, the free and fair election is held throughout the country, only because of the reason each and every polling officer is liable to shoulder responsibilities on behalf of the election commission. So that's why the role of electoral official as well as the role of polling officer is very important. Why? Because their first and foremost duty is to make the people aware, make the voters aware while casting their votes. Each and every voter has to produce their photo identity card before the polling officer and the agents of different political parties. In front of the polling officer or booth agent, they are supposed to produce their photo identity cards, and by showing photo identity cards they are entered to be a voter and they are allowed to cast their votes. This is the procedure of voting. So by doing it, the election commission conducts free and fair election, and then next what to do? Next, the voters, the election procedure is over. Then the dates when the process of counting votes are done, the process of counting votes is done, and then the election commission declares the names of different candidates who won the election from different constituencies. By this way, the election commission conducts free and fair election. Next day, my dear students, the remaining part of this lesson will be taught to you. Up to this, thank you.